Well, hey everyone, welcome to Spinal Champion Launch Party Day. I'm your host, Erica Anderson with the National Spine Health Foundation. We're so glad that you're here. We are excited to celebrate this day with you, tell you more about our Spinal Champion program. And right now, we want to introduce you to a Spinal Champion herself and her mom, Elizabeth and Ella. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you guys?
Good. Good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so I wanted to kick it off just by asking you to both tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you're from, and how you got associated with the Spine Health Foundation.
Sure, I'll go ahead and start. I'm Elizabeth Turk, my daughter Ella, and we get started in 17, with a diagnosis of scoliosis. And as the curve progressed, while we were being monitored, Ella was, we ended up, moving forward down the path of wearing a scoliosis brace, right? 20 some hours a day. And, through the, work with Virginia Spine, and some struggles that we had, wearing, the brace and, working through the whole situation for years, Ella's, come through, the brace and has successful treatment. And we just found that out, and we wanted to really, give back and, offer what we learned, to the other girls or moms, going through this struggle, and, and help them in ways that, we felt would have been beneficial for us, and Dr. Good with Virginia Spine put us in contact with the Spine Health Foundation. And, here we are today, hopefully be able to offer support and, help some other folks, where we needed it.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm so glad they did put you in touch. We love them over at VSI.
Yeah.
Ella, I want to ask you, for you, when you got the diagnosis, what kind of went through your mind when you heard the word?
I had no pain, so I didn't really know what scoliosis was. But my pediatrician explained it to me, and the spinal institution. I wasn't really sure because I had no pain, so I had no clue I had scoliosis in the first place.
And so what did you think when you were told, yeah, we want you to wear this for 20 hours a day?
I didn't know what it would look like, so they were trying, I don't know, I thought it would be a little better than what they were explaining, but it turned out to be harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah, you have it there.
This is her second brace.
Yeah, this is my second one. I've had two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so what does it feel like to wear it all that time during the day?
It's just a little contract, but you get used to it, and it's actually super comfortable to sleep in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Right. Yeah, we thought that was going to be one of our areas of concern, and it turned out especially, welcomed wearing the brace, and you get used to it, right?
Yeah.
And so how long did you have to wear it until you felt or they told you that you were doing well?
Well, I wore it for 3 years, so it started in beginning of 6th grade and almost all of my 8th grade year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now they are saying you're completely fixed, or what?
I'm done growing, so my curve won't grow. It shouldn't grow.
Okay.
It didn't get better. It was supposed to stay the same.
It was supposed to stay the same, right? And so the whole goal was, right, to wear it.
Not make it get worse.
To not make it get worse. So if you wore it 20 hours a day, that was the intent. So what they would check every 6 months?
6 months.
6 months.
Okay. So is it weird not wearing it all the time after 3 years of wearing it all the time?
Kind of. The first week it was a little weird. It was kind of weird to sleep because I would always have an armrest.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice sometimes sleeping with it. But
yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. Now I know that you're a dancer. You guys have talked a little bit about this. What was that like? How did you incorporate your active life in while wearing the brace?
I would normally wear it to practice. Sometimes I would take it off. Normally, some days practice would be longer, so I would take it off for one dance and then put it on for the other one and just keep it in my bag.
Yeah. And now you guys didn't end up getting a surgery. Some people do. Why were you sort of laser focused on kind of not getting the surgery?
I didn't want to get surgery because I didn't want to be able to not be able to like move certain ways because now I'm doing track. It would be maybe a little harder to run.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Now, I know that you are interested in, tell us about the clothing that you're interested in, I guess making clothing, or at least having an option for clothing that actually looks good with a brace.
Yeah.
Tell me about that whole part of it.
So I would wear, when I was in 6th grade, normally like off the shoulder was in. So I would wear these seamless tank tops. So it didn't have to show the straps.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have this other one. They're both seamless, so they're more comfortable. This one I would just wear like with normal t-shirts or tank tops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what we found was, online, the only options that we originally saw were medical grade, right? And, for someone in middle school, in 6th grade, it's hard enough to wear a brace, right? And then to not be able to wear, the latest fashions, you're already different, which is okay, right? But, still want to be trendy, and things of that nature. And it was a struggle to try to find brace, shirts. And we found them at some of the local stores, and they actually weren't even expensive. And so we stockpiled on those, and we're able to even go through Europe, through Italy, wearing the brace and, 100-degree weather, but you can still wear off the shoulder tops because you still had the brace, the strapless brace tank top. And so things of that nature, where to find, the clothing articles to wear underneath, to, again, just keep up with the trends. And it's difficult to wear a piece of plastic,
Yeah. And I mean, it's like
hours a day. So,
and you're talking, like you said, you're talking about the vast majority of people that are going through this are teenage girls, and that's just such a hard time in life to already, like, regardless of what's happening. So I agree that that's so important to be thinking of things like that. I think you kind of both alluded to earlier that there wasn't necessarily, you didn't feel like you got the preparation for everything that was to come when you got the diagnosis. Can you talk a little bit about that and what you wish you had been provided with?
So I didn't have many people that I knew had scoliosis. I didn't really even know what like a scoliosis brace was. No. So I wasn't really prepared. I didn't know you had to like wear a tank top or like a brace shirt under. So I wasn't very prepared at all, but I kind of ended up making it work.
Yeah.
We figured it out, on our own. So I think this forum will be, we hope it's just very helpful, because small tips just on how to get through the day, or your schedule, just so helpful, even as a mom, hey, where to find those brace tank tops. It sounds simple, but to find a brace tank top without a seam is not easy. But once you know where to look, you're like, oh, there they are, and how to wear it, so it's.
Yeah, I feel like that you guys should write a blog post for us or something, sort of with the tips for where to shop, what to buy, because, people find our website just by searching. And I know that people find it from some of our posts on scoliosis. So it's interesting because we found that of all the back conditions, like just through research in the Google world, there is less information on scoliosis than a lot of things. So it's interesting that you say that.
There wasn't a lot. It was just wear one of these medical grade tank tops under it and go, and not how to deal with the intricacies at school, with PE, and you ask for a separate locker, and there's always larger lockers. There's all these small things you can do that makes I think a challenging situation just a little bit easier, and having someone to talk to. I mean, Ella, she encountered, it's different, right? And so when you're different, right, especially in middle school, you need to, it's not the easiest thing. And most of the girls are wearing the braces, because you don't need surgery yet, right? And so you're probably not in pain, right? And so to do all this I think, forward thinking, you know, to hear someone who, hey, has come through this and is not going to need the surgery, you know, that's I think a good thing from a role model perspective. Like, you know, we've slowly started realizing it as the months and years went on of wearing it, you know, that the good is going to come. But, you know, looking forward, it's not the easiest situation. And especially when kids, I mean, were there any other girls at your school who had scoliosis?
No.
No, I think, you know, we learned of, I think there was one other girl who may have had it. We didn't come in contact with her because if they don't share the information, you know, with the school nurse, you know, you don't know, you know, and so there was no one. It's a school of 600, you know, how many kids, like 600 some children, and there wasn't anyone else. And kids are tough. I mean, you know, but to have someone to reach to, you know, I think this forum, you know, would be helpful, right? I mean, it's a tough situation.
Well, you know, we do have a lot of people, like I said, that are coming to us as first time, you know, they're just Googling and they find us. And so what would be some words of wisdom or encouragement that you would give someone who's in the position of just having gotten a diagnosis and maybe told the exact same thing that you were told? What would you say to them right now?
I would definitely wear it. You need to wear it so you don't have back pain in the future, and so you don't have different like lengths of shoulders and you're not different, because no one knows. Not many people knew that I wore the brace, so it won't affect you in the long run. And when you do get it off, no one notices.
Yeah.
I don't think any of my friends noticed that I got it off unless I told them, because I made it work.
Yeah, that's good to know. That's good to hear you say you made it work, because I think people can hear that and say, okay, like, look at her. She's a normal girl. She did it. She made it work. I can do it too. And I think this will be a real encouragement to people, and to see that it did work.
Right.
And that, you know, here you are now having gone through those years of it, and you're out on the other side, and it'll be worth it for the rest of your life, no doubt.
And do you want to let them, you know, was it easy, or did you have some issues at school though?
Yeah, I did have some issues at school encountering, not everyone's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, girls can be mean.
How'd you handle that?
I just kind of let it go. I mean, I just wanted to get through it so I didn't have pain in the long run. And yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it would force you to be more mature than you should be at your age, right? Like, but that in the long run, I think, is really going to be on the plus side for you.
Yeah. And there's, you know, a lot of programs at the schools now, you know, that I think we're just starting to come into play, you know, when Alice started to wear the brace regarding bullying and things.
Yeah.
And, you know, I try to let Elle, you know, handle, you know, most situations on our own. But, you know, as a parent, sometimes you do have to, you know, step in and let the school, you know what's going on, you know, and it's a lesson, I think, for other girls, you know, and people are different, you know, and there's usually in 6th grade, that's where I think people are realizing there are differences, and, you know, it's okay, right, to be different. But it also helps the other kids who basically, you know, don't understand that, haven't had to like deal with that yet, you know, are just coming to counter with that. And so, you know, sometimes you do need to, you know, escalate some situations and get that involvement going with the school, you know, early on. It was probably something I should have done even earlier, you know, and so things like that can just help overall, you know, the environment, you know, when you are wearing a brace with, you know, a bunch of teenage, you know, kids, you know, it's a tough situation, but, you know, letting the school know and things of that nature, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do that are small, kind of behind the scenes, you know, that do help, but things we encountered along the way.
It's good to get your perspective too, because obviously there's always going to be a mom or a dad. They're traveling the journey with their daughter or son, and parents don't know what they're doing either. I mean, it's just like every moment of parenting, you know, you don't know what you're doing until you just do it. And so hearing from you and how you dealt with it and parented and through that is really helpful as well, I think.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, it's a good team, you know, it's teamwork. It's a tough situation when you don't have a broken bone yet, you know, you're not in pain, but you're wearing something that is, I mean, this is a hard piece of plastic.
Yeah, it doesn't look comfortable.
20 hours a day. And, to do that when you're not in pain, how do you justify that? Right. And so we're looking forward, we're always focused to the future. And then when you see it happen, now running track without, the brace and things like that, it's when you see a success, right? I think, and that actually did work. The curve never changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were, militant about wearing it those hours, but it didn't change. And now it's not going to change. Her growth cycle, is finished, and we came through that, right? And so to see it, and had we had folks to talk to, about that and see the end game, that there is going to be an end. It seems like it's not going to, but I mean, to talk to someone, I think who went through it, to show that was worth it. Because again, how do you justify wearing it when you're in sixth grade? You feel fine. You come out of the doctor's office and we're like, it just changed. You can't see the curve change.
Can't imagine that.
You need to see it on an X-ray. So it's different than having a broken bone, right? And things of that nature. People understand that. People don't understand scoliosis because, your clothes are covering it,
right?
And things of that nature. So,
well, I think, it is so, I feel like almost like they should be showing a video like this to people that get a diagnosis just to make them feel better and make them feel like, they're not alone and that it is possible to get through. I hope that people, I know that you're going to be part of our new program, our new advocate program, and I hope that people reach out. Like, that's why we're doing this. So if there is a question, we're just getting that started. So we don't know, how much popularity it's going to have at first, but we want to have it there as a resource for people. So it's not just talking to doctors and these big medical terms, but actually talking to real people that have been through it and can speak the same language as you. So
it's these real life situations, right? Like, how do you deal with the beach situation? Right. We had really frank conversations with, Dr. Good, regarding, what do we do? If you wear it consistently, though, the brace for 20, 23 hours, and then you do have, a little bit of a break if you're taking a beach vacation, for maybe not 4 hours, but maybe 5 hours, for a very select point in time, depending on your curve path, that could maybe be okay. So you can have these conversations and work out, the beach time. But she would even bring it to the beach, and just put a t-shirt on after, she'll only be in the sun so many hours anyways, right? So she still did all the beach trips, Europe. You can do it. It's a master of the schedule, though, right?
Right.
The schedule, and having someone like talk those tips. I mean, we were trying to figure that schedule out. Have we had someone to talk to about it? There's so many tricks, and tips, on, how to do it. Like, wearing, certain types of tank tops where when it gets really hot, you can still go outside, and wear it, and then. Over time, did you even mind that people could see it outside?
No,
you get really used to it.
And it's like, this is who I am. So plus you're doing a service by being open about it, because it does help other people sort of see, hey, this is okay.
And you told all your friends, right? I mean, we were really open about it. We went on a shopping trip to buy some new jeans to, figure it out, how to wear it over jeans. And the friends, all her friends knew, right? And so there's, I don't want to say safety in numbers, but, when you're going to be the completely different one, with your friends knowing, and understanding. And again, I think there's a lot more compassion now in schools, the past few years it's grown, that being different is okay. Trying to, hide it isn't as, much the need. And you could see that progression, I think, in Ella over the years where, at first starting it, it's something different. And then you kind of grow to accept that and be like, but, it's all right. Who cares if someone sees it, on the side or in the back? It doesn't really matter, did it, at the end? No.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we're so glad to have you as part of our team and to share your story and get it out there. We have a couple other ambassadors for the Spine Health Foundation that are also, they're both professional dancers. They both have scoliosis. So it's been amazing to meet so many people that have been so resilient through this, and to just show people that it doesn't have to stop you. It doesn't have to, you know, be something that ruins, you know, all the physical things that you want to do. It simply doesn't have to be that way. So thank you so much for sharing your story, both of you, for coming on. We really appreciate you being part of this. And we know we'll be seeing your face on our website. So for those that are watching, stay tuned for links to the advocate page and more information on that program and how you can get involved. And we will see you the rest of the day as we do a few more interviews and have some more resources for you. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.